Today we are talking about an important topic. How much do we actually need to spend on AI, and what our infrastructure is going to look like? If you're joining me today for the first time, welcome to my channel. I'm an ex product manager and I'm going to be an AI builder, an AI entrepreneur with my journey of building 6 apps in public, one app at a time. Today, we are going to talk about the costs that you need to spend in order to invest in technology products so that they can support our live apps, right? So where do we deploy our live apps and what do we need for building our live apps? So the two main ones which are not really expensive, AI for LLMs. So you need an inference model, you need to get API keys for an inference model, and open router. I'll put this name in the description. That's the place where you can get several AI LLM inference models that you can compare and contrast. That's what I'm using, and I would recommend that for you as well. We also need APIs because let's face it, we are going to build um, AI apps which integrate with the rest of the universe. And there are APIs out there, or there are other agents that we may want to talk to, which may incur a cost, right? So this is not huge. I've just like budgeted about £5 a month. The biggest chunk comes in hosting and infra. Now let's look at what the options are and what my current setup for infrastructure is. I'm doing infrastructure as a service where I'm getting a virtual machine. Everything from the operating system onwards is my problem. This way, it is slightly cheaper for me. It's around £15 onwards to around 30 to 40 pounds, depending on the spec. It's easy for us to spin up. The two options that are really great for beginners is either Hetzner or DigitalOcean. Both of them have got their servers in local places. They've got in Europe or London or India, wherever you're based. So it's quite easy for us to ensure that there is no latency when our app is actually serving requests from anywhere, right? Like mainly from the market that you're in. So infrastructure as a service, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I would highly recommend anyone to do. um, the other option which does exist is platform as a service, which is on the higher end of the budget with Railway or Vulture, which makes it's super simple for you. It's one click and you can actually set up your app. I'm not going down this road because this is more painful. We are going to learn a lot. We're going to learn about Docker. We're going to learn about reverse proxies and all of those nice things. So please go ahead with this option. Just in terms of my tech stack, I'm using one of these hosting providers. Um, I'm going to flip over and show you the exact DigitalOcean droplet. We call them as a droplet because that's just a VM in their language. As you can see, they also give you GPUs, which we don't really need. So let's go look at compute droplets and the specific one that we might be interested in. Let's just start with the real basic ones. And I would say around a 4 gig one, it's perfectly suitable for us to set up our own web server and run our own web server from here. So now the stack or the structure how I'm doing this matters because the biggest mistake I've made is I've put everything in a single server at the moment, and that's not scaling already because I've as you know, I have a couple of apps that I wipe coded last year which are also there, and I'm also putting 6 new apps which this sort of a VM cannot hold anymore, right? So I am actually going to purchase another one, maybe perhaps this one is what I'm planning, or maybe even this again, to push my database here. So if you're thinking long term and if you're carrying through with me on this journey of actually building all of the 6 apps, then definitely consider getting 2 VMs. Get one where your database is, separate the data. Let's get one separate one for our compute, right? So that's two different VMs. um, what makes things easy for us to deploy and manage is this thing. A colleague I met in a conference once mentioned about Coolify, and it's amazing for beginners because it simplifies Docker to a great extent. You don't have to worry about reverse proxy. So once you've gotten your droplet, it takes literally 2 minutes. Log in either with your user ID, password, or SSL. Go and install Coolify, and then follow through some steps or examples, or follow their docs, or just ask AI, figure it out. Make this environment ready. And the other last question is what database? I'm using Postgres. Postgres is simple, and Postgres is also available as a simple Docker container I can install from Coolify. So I've just gone with Postgres, and it's also the easiest one for me down the line when I have to look at vector databases to simply install an extension for Postgres. So that Python is what I'm using as the primary language, and Fast API and Unicon server and Pydantic for data basic setup for validation. Infrastructure. If any questions, do let me know. I've literally started my week one of app one where I'm building growth map, and my infrastructure is all sorted. I've in fact just coded my very first